Hello everyone, my name is Luke Necklace and I want to introduce you to a game that I've been developing since February. It's called Chomp N Cheeky. It is currently the Shareware version. It's in alpha state at the moment. I've publicly released this game since the 6th of July. Since the 6th of July. So it's been mostly behind closed doors in development until I decided to make it public and work with the community and improving the game and continue development with the game. I have since started streaming live development of this game on Twitch, so you can follow me there at twitch.tv/LukeNecklace. I'll leave a link down the bottom for you to click on. I also post updates on Twitter on the progress at the end of every day, and occasionally, like this video, I'll post minor updates just talking about the different things that I've been doing and completing with it. The game is currently on itch.io, as you can see. It's in the browser format at the moment. The full version that's being worked on still will be available on a PC as a PC download, and later on I'll be optimizing it for mobile as well. So for you to access this game, you do need to be on a PC or a laptop. No mobile yet. Even on the browser version, it will not work. So when you are on one and you come to this page here, just click on Run Chomp N Cheeky. It's recommended that you go to full screen just to avoid any current functionality issues that are programmed in the game at the moment. So if you find that you're pressing spacebar or any of the arrow directional keys, and you find that your screen's moving rather than your character in the game, then just go to full screen. It's a lot of people have mentioned that as a problem at the moment. So this game, what I'm about to show you here, is not complete. As you can see, a lot of the graphics are not complete either. For example, the characters could look a lot better. I will be looking for a graphics designer to help me with that once all the content is completed as well. So this is just the basic main menu of it. There will be more options later on, but it's just got press enter to play. You can also use your mouse, as you can see there. You can also click on these with your mouse to go to all those pages. So we're just going to start the game here. And basically the idea of this game is that you are a smiley face called Cheeky. The smiley face, you are lost in Clan Grove after looking for some food, and you need to get out. So during that time, though, you actually run into a character called Chomp, who can eat you. So just be very careful of that. But you also have to use him to get out of the grove as well. And here's how. So the first thing you do see when you enter the first level is an introduction to the section that you're actually going to be encountering for the next 10 levels, which is called Grass and Bread. So basically, I do plan to have a theme for every 10 levels. At the moment, Grass and Bread is the theme for the first section. And on this particular pop-up, we have just a few tips on how to play the game. First of all, the movement. You can move Cheeky with the WASD or arrow keys. You're going to hold shift and press the move key to change his direction that he's facing as well. You don't generally need this second feature. That is something that at the moment is only really needed in the full version with certain skills. But at the moment, just moving him is sufficient. Goal. The goal is to get the key, and you go through the door. And to go through the door, you need to be over the door, and you need to press enter. Now, I have had some feedback in relation to this since I streamed last week for my first week of streaming. Why don't you just let Cheeky go through the door automatically? And that is generally because it's just a user confirmation that you want to progress to the next level. If the user doesn't want to progress to the next level yet, then because they've got other things they want to search for on that level, then that's why there's a separate functionality there for that, and doesn't automatically go through. So just bear in mind that that will probably be the main thing, or when it gets around to mobile, there'll be another feature that will basically confirm that you want to go through the door. But for the moment, Bread's just telling you that the orange squares at this point are, just bread that only clamps can eat through to remove it. You can't go through them yourself. They are an obstacle to you. So just press OK and start the game. You'll get another pop-up in a moment just saying that a clam predator approaches. This is a pop-up when you first encounter the enemy clam that you'll be encountering. In this particular case, Chomp the Chaser. He's the only one available in the Shareware version at the moment. In the full version, you'll also get Dash, Sticky, and Switch that you'll be encountering, and some of them are also on the same level as well as Chomp. So there's just a bit of something to look forward to when I finish the full version. But watch out, Chomp's coming out of his cave. So he comes out of his cave. Generally, it's that very dark thing on the map there that he comes out of. And it just tells you about resurrection as well. So if you do get eaten by Chomp, you will appear back at your door here, and you do take a life, which looks like that, and you'll see that down there as a life count. So just be aware of that. Now, as I go along, I will basically comment on just some of the features I have been working on. The features I've been working on, biggest problem I've actually had with this game when I first introduced it is that there wasn't much in terms of getting Chomp to eat the bread. So that's still being worked on at the moment. But I introduced a feature called the lolly packet, which is this thing here. You can just go over it to collect it. And it just says that you've obtained the lolly packet. You can press the spacebar to drop lollies, and if Chomp sees those lollies, he basically prioritizes to eat them. However, if he sees you, he'll prioritize you instead. Just be careful of that. This is a feature that I just updated last Friday, so I'm still getting some feedback as to how that goes and how we can basically improve that. But basically, it appears down here. It's no longer a lock symbol. That shows that that skill is available. Now, skills you'll be able to permanently use skills, but you will need to you will have certain limitations with them. So for lolly packet, for example, you'll only be able to place 5 lollies, and then you'll have to wait for Chomp to eat them before continuing. Now, what you see here is just another pop-up saying a secret rune is uncovered. One of the main 2 things that you can see here in terms of the progression is magical secret runes. There's 2 different types on the Shareware version. There'll be 8 different types on the full version. In the full version, and basically they are always hidden. They are never something that you just see. So you'll need to uncover them. In this particular case, Chomp has uncovered a rune in this spot here. It's just telling you that a secret rune's uncovered. This doesn't pop up all the time. You'll notice that a lot of these helper pop-ups only happens for the first time that they appear. They will not continuously keep happening to hustle you, so the game does remember that you've learnt them until you decide to refresh the game in the browser. Excuse my voice. I've had a long day. So these theses here are just new. I decided to put them in just to show the player that they can, just their progress in terms of finding all the treasure and the runes collected, just to help them know that, when all that's completed before they decide to move on to the next level, as some players like to do that in order to increase their score. You have collected a treasure, so when you walk over treasure that either looks like this, this, or this, or other variations of this. By the way, if you see other bits of treasure that look like this but are not exactly like this, then they are also treasure, and they give different scores. For example, the coins are the ones that are the least value. The pile of coins would be the next highest value at 100. The chalice is like 1,250 points. So, if you collect them, just so you know, the more elegant the treasure looks, the higher the value. If you collect 10,000 points, or every 10,000 points that you do score, you'll get an additional life as well. Again, that's not very obvious. There's a lot of things on here that are not very obvious yet because it doesn't have special effects or sounds or things like that at the moment. But they will be worked on. Chomp is chasing me at the moment, so Chomp has line of sight. All clams generally have line of sight, but he's the main one that chases you. And whenever he does see you, as you can see, an exclamation mark does appear above his head. and he will start going into chase mode. It's just telling me that I've collected the key there, and reminded me how to go through the door. So one of the things that I actually discovered is I actually had these horrible pop-ups at the start of the level to begin with, and I've just basically scattered them around as the player encounters them first. So it just helps with the player's education how to interact with certain features that I believe that they should know about. Now to lose Chomp here, you just have to basically go out of his line of sight like that, and he will stop chasing you at the last known location. Now the head indicators that he has when he sees you and when he loses you are also still being tested at the moment. So if you don't see any of that, feel free to report it through the bug report tool, which is the question mark here. Just fill out the form and just press send. That will send a bug report to me. I'll review it and I'll make sure that I get it fixed. Try to be as detailed as you can. It can be a bit difficult when there isn't much detail. I do generally need to know the circumstances, like what was happening at the time that you encountered the bug, what you were doing, maybe what the enemy was doing. Those sorts of things can help as well. So, as you can see here, he's eating through the bread. You cannot actually destroy the bread yourself. You have to use Chomp to do so. And I don't really need to use the lollies at the moment, but just to demonstrate how they work, you can leave them by pressing spacebar here. They're quite big at the moment. As you can see, Chomp will prioritize the lollies before he starts going back into the bread. He'll also eat anything behind the lolly that he's coming towards as well. So anything that he goes towards when he anything that's behind a lolly, he will actually eat. So whoop. Getting pretty close there myself. So I just lost him there. So yeah, the question mark just basically means that he's lost you. He will basically look for you in the area and then return to his random roaming as he's currently doing. Now that's basically what he does do. Chomp does randomly roam the map, just eating bread as he goes along. This is still being enhanced. So he will get smarter as time goes on. I feel like I will be needing to make improvements there. So I'm just going to go through the level. I'm going to place Cheeky over the top of the door and press the enter. And the first thing there that you see, that is basically the level 1's complete. Your level score, the score that you actually completed during that level, the total score that you've got throughout the entire game, which will accumulate. The total percentage of treasure that you collected, the secret runes that you found, and the level reward that you actually will get on top of that score. When you press the spacebar. Now, runes are not very obvious, as you could tell when I activated that rune back there. I did not really, there wasn't any effect just yet. It was fairly obvious, I think, that the treasure appeared, but then in some levels, it is not so obvious. So some people have actually reported that runes do not work. And I have actually tested runes quite extensively myself. They're quite an easy feature to program, so I haven't had much trouble with it. But please do check everywhere on the level to make sure that there isn't treasure or any collectible lives that you can actually find as well, because that's different runes do different things. So you will need to just explore the game to find out exactly what they actually do. Another good indication is that if you collect all the visible treasure and you find that you're not at 100% and you can't see any more treasure on the map, then there must be hidden treasure, in which case you'll have to find a rune to activate that treasure in order to collect it. So it's a good indication that you really need to sort of find that rune. So I'm just going to try and influence Chomp here to get to this key, just to provide a bit more demonstration of the lolly packet feature that we have. And I've probably positioned that very poorly. So it is quite difficult. You do have to really think about, what you can do in order to, get Chomp to eat the bread that you want him to. It is not a straightforward answer. You do have to think about it, and that's generally the gameplay. There are things that you will be able to do. You're going to eat that bread there. Excellent. So I've used that lollipop quite well there to get to the key. But yeah, you do have to use a lot of your brain power to work out how to do it. But you do have to actively engage in, for Chomp, if you want Chomp to actually, uncover things and, make things available that are stuck in bread or are surrounded by bread, you do need to really sort of get him to do stuff, either by placing lollies or getting him to see you, and then, sort of bait him over there. Because Chomp will just, can remain on one side of the map, and I want to introduce more tools for you to influence him, and that's what the lolly packet is for. If you just sit there and wait, he may not actually, go to the area that you want him to go into, and this is something I actually am still looking into at the moment. So, yeah, that's pretty much the gameplay there. You will find an invisibility power-up as well. The invisibility power-up is basically an orb. It's a flashing red orb with an eye on it. If you collect it, it automatically bestows invisibility on you for a set period of time, in which case Chomp will not be able to see you, but he can still eat you. So just be careful of that. It can be useful to, stay alive if you don't want him to see you or get past him in order to get to, other objects that you need. These things down here, that's your score. This is your life, and this here will indicate whether or not you have the key. Otherwise, it looks like a lock, as you may have seen before. This is your skill. Anything here is basically your skills. At the moment in the shareware version, there's only one skill, so you use that. This is basically what your status would be if you were to collect a power up. Now, this might actually change if I introduce, these down here, for example, which I will do at some stage soon, to make it more appealing. Don't worry about this. This is actually not something you're supposed to see. Bit of a bug there. This one is, the bug report tool, as I showed you before. So there's more enhancements, and as you can see, it's not quite complete, but I am going to be working on all these issues and more to make this game more interesting. So see what you can do. The first few levels do look very similar, but they are different. For example, they have more treasure on them, and things are placed a bit differently. For example, as you notice, the lollypacker was here instead of about here. And the key was also in a different place as well. But you'll notice that as you go through the levels, they'll be completely different changes. It's just the first few levels are there to help you get used to the game, and just not throw too much variation at you. Being a new player, that's generally the idea of it anyway. So you can just explore the game and how it works, and how Chomp works and all that sort of stuff. So, thank you very much for watching my video on my first minor update for Chomp N Cheeky and introduction to the game. This week, or next week in streaming, I will be working on a main menu routine. I'm going to be turning this into a list of menu items that you can click on. It will still have a report a bug there, but it will be in a button on that menu instead of just opening up the bug report item, just so you can get back to the main menu. And then I'll be working on putting these things down here, and I'll probably also work on a better system to access help information as well in the game that tells you about all the different things that you can encounter as well. And just to show you what happens when you get eaten, he quite likes you as well, and you reappear with a few seconds of invulnerability as well, which is why you flash. So, yes, like I said, I'll be streaming on Twitch 9 AM to 4 PM every weekday, so Monday to Friday, Australian Sydney time. Feel free to follow me on there and engage with me live. I will be continuing my work there. It's the best place for my content. I do post videos or minor updates occasionally, just to give everyone a video on YouTube, and I post daily with my progress during the week on Twitter, so you guys can have a look at that. Itch has also got a devlogs area as well that you can also look at. So feel free to look down this page, see how you can support me, and all the different changes I've made recently, what I'm working on in the game, and all the development logs, just a bit more details as to what I've got planned for the game, that sort of thing. I have recently posted a devlog for version 1.1.2. That is actually the version that is currently in the game, despite it saying version 1.1.1 at the moment. But I will be a lot more consistent with that in the future. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know anywhere. I'll be happy to answer them. If you have any suggestions, of course, feel free to let me know as well. And I'll be happy to consider them too. So in the meantime, I'll see you guys tomorrow on Twitch, and again there will be another video update later on. Not scheduled day yet, but whenever I'm able to finish my chunk of updates for you, I will certainly post another video. So feel free to like, subscribe, and comment, of course, and thank you very much for your support. My name is Luke Necklace, and we'll see you again next time.